Hey, everybody. This is MJ coming to you live from my mobile office, better known as my phone, my car, rather, via my phone. I hope everybody has had a fabulous week and that you are ready for the weekend and are finishing up your productive work week strong as ever. Today, we're going to be talking about which comes first, the solution or the decision. And when I was planning this particular training topic, it made me think about the proverbial debate about which came first, the chicken or the egg. You know, chickens lay eggs and chickens come from eggs. And so eggs come from chickens, chickens come from eggs. And so I guess there's this big debate throughout history of which came first. Now, if you believe in creation, you believe that God created animals and not eggs, then the chicken probably came first, right? But when you think about the chicken and the egg debate, it's often because the people are saying that, you know, it could be either way, that something came before something else, right? And so they're like, which one came first? And so when it comes to your business, when it comes to the decision to start a business, when it comes to solving the challenges of starting a business, sometimes it can seem like that first you need to solve the challenges inherent in starting a business before you decide to jump out there and actually start the business. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, because I talk to so many women who, and I actually have people who will schedule time to talk to me, and then they will cancel their appointment and they will leave me a note saying, I'm going to wait until I get my things together. I'm going to wait until I have my act together, until everything is ready. And then I'm going to talk to you, which I always find interesting, because the conversation with me and ultimately working with a person like me will actually help them to do the things that they're trying to get together before they come talk to me. So when you're talking about getting help from an expert, when you're talking about getting help for your business, you don't need to get anything together before you talk to them, because literally they are the ones that are going to be helping you to get stuff together. But I know where that feeling comes from. It comes from a feeling of, I don't want it to seem like I'm disorganized, or I don't want it to seem like I don't know what I'm doing. But the fact is, you don't know what you're doing, and that's why you're reaching out for help. But here's another place where that let me find out all the answers and get my solutions together before I step out there comes into play. A lot of times we think that when it comes to business, that first you have to figure out the money, figure out the time, figure out every detail of what your business will look like and how you will get there before you actually do anything. And that is what we refer to as, and you probably heard this expression before, analysis paralysis, where you are so busy analyzing what you want to do and trying to make your journey be free of mistakes that you stay paralyzed and stuck exactly where you are right now. Analysis paralysis. You think that I'm not going to actually put it out there. I'm not going to tell anybody I'm going to start a business, or you might tell some people, but you don't actually put any real action behind it until you have found your solutions. But what I'm here to tell you is that the opposite is true. You actually need to make your decision about what you want to do before you can solve the challenges that are a part of the thing that you've decided to do. I'll use vacationing as an example. How often have you waited until you got your stuff together before you made the decision to go on vacation? That never happens. You always decide, this summer I want to go on vacation. That's the decision. And then you say, okay, what will I need? I will need money. How much do I need? Well, it depends on where I'm going. Well, then you decide where you want to go. You get some prices. You figure out how much you already have and how much you're going to need. And then you start saving up, or maybe you get a second job, or whatever it is. You find the solution to your vacation problem after you decide to go on vacation, not before. But somehow we think that we have to figure out all of the answers to where am I going to get the money, and how am I going to know what I'm doing, and all of these things before you make the decision. But here's what's true. Until you make a decision, you will not be in the mindset of looking for solutions to your problem. Because until you decide to do something, you don't have a problem. Let me say that again. Until you decide that you are serious about starting your business in 2021, you will not be in the mindset to find solutions for your problem. Why? Because until you decide to do it, you don't have a problem. You don't have a problem until you have a thing you want to do that you don't know what you're going to do to solve that issue or make that thing come to reality. The opposite does not happen. All into your lap. Oh, they done messed up my broadcast. It's never the case that resources just fall into your lap and then you have all this abundance of money and time and ideas, and then you figure out what you're going to do with them. That's not how it works. You come up with, I want to be free. I want to be in control of my time. I want to be able to call the shots in my life. I want to be able to create wealth for myself and my family. And then you say, as in the case with you, if you're watching this broadcast, I will be able to accomplish that by becoming a self-employed entrepreneur. This is still a decision. You haven't solved the problem. You're actually creating a problem. Because right now you have a job. Whether you like your job or not, there are some benefits to having a job. It's predictable. It's familiar. You're going to get a check every 2 weeks or every week unless they lay you off. And so there's no issue there because you already are in that space. When you make a decision to become an entrepreneur, now you have created a problem because now you have to figure out how to do it. You have to figure out, if I'm going to start a business, where am I going to get the money? Where am I going to get the time that it's going to take to invest in that while I'm still building somebody else's dream for 40 hours a week? You're creating a problem, but it started with a decision. You had to decide you wanted something else in your life. And then your mind goes about saying, okay, how can I solve the problem? But what happens with people who are in a fear-based mentality or in a scarcity mentality? They say, I know if I ever want to have a business, it's going to cost me money. And I don't know where I'm going to get it. So I'm going to wait till I get some money and then I'm going to start my business. That's not a decision. That is a fear-based, scarcity-based place that's going to keep you stuck. Because what happens, our minds, the way our minds work is that we are always looking for validation for what we already see and what we already believe to be true. And so if you have already decided that the safe place for you right now is staying at your job and waiting until you get your things together, if you're unwilling to reach out for help until you get your stuff together, then your mind will look for evidence to validate that staying where you are is the best idea for now. And that is not the place where you find solutions for funding a new business or getting the expertise that you know that's going to help you know how to start your business and to find the creativity to figure out the marketing and all of those things. You're not going to do that because you are going to be telling yourself and finding evidence that it's true that you need to stay where you are for right now. And so you will find more and more evidence of that. All of a sudden, stuff is going to start breaking in your life. People, things, everything that's going to stop you from moving out of your comfort zone. That's what's going to start happening because you've told yourself that what you want is to stay where you are because that's what makes sense right now. And I know that might seem counter to what you want to believe. You figure if I tell myself when I get the money, I'll do it, that is the decision. No, you've already said, I don't have what I need. And I'm going to wait for it to somehow magically happen. And then I'm going to put it out there. That's not how it works. There is no safe, easy, risk-free road to freedom. There is no safe, really, staying stuck where you are has risks. Because like I said, you'll keep collecting that paycheck every 2 weeks as long as they don't lay you off or decide that they don't need you anymore. See, there's a risk with staying stuck where you are. There's no risk-free place in life, but there are some paths that you can choose that are more outside of your comfort zone than others, and so they seem more risky. But to me, letting somebody else dictate what my family can and cannot have and what I can and cannot do with my own time is more risky than taking a chance on myself. And that's the mindset you want to get into as well, recognizing the risk of staying stuck where you are and making a decision to change it. Once you make a decision that you want something different and that staying where you are is less attractive than moving into something new, all of a sudden You will find resources. Checks will come in the mail. People will reach out to you. You will start to find ways to learn. Experts like myself will appear in your news feed, offering support, offering training, offering accountability and guidance. That's what happens after you make your decision. But you cannot find solutions be geared towards if you are still telling yourself that I need to stay where I am for right now. Right now is not a good time. Look at the economy. Right now is not a good time. Some people's businesses failed last year. Now is not a good time. I'm waiting on my bonus from my employer. Guess what? Unless your bonus, this is kind of off the topic, but I just reminded myself of something. Unless your bonus is coming in the next couple of few weeks, waiting on somebody to give you money to stay stuck when you could create the wealth you want that far surpasses any bonus they're going to give you, that's ridiculous to me. Now, if it's happening in the next few weeks, they're going to give you a bonus, then that's seed money for your dream, and that's different. But I've known people that said, I'm going to put off starting my business, starting my boutique for 6 to 12 months so I can get this little bit of money from these people over here. Meanwhile, with the right guidance, in those 6 to 12 months, they could have more than tripled, quadrupled, quintupled the money they were going to get from their employer and that bonus doing their own thing. But they allowed staying where they are to give them evidence for more reasons why they're going to stay stuck where they are. You have to step out and say, now is the time. I will not be denied anymore. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I've decided to do it. And that's when solutions show up. Trust me, it doesn't happen the other way around. You will not start seeing those opportunities. You will not get those resources. You will not find those answers until you have a question. And you won't have questions in your life until you decide to do something different. Let that really wash over you and marinate in it. Because we think sometimes, because it's safe, oh yeah, I'm going to get some money saved up and then I'm going to start my business. Well, how do you know how much money you need to have saved up? You can't save up without a target of some nature. $20 can be saved up. That's not going to help you start your business. A whole lot of $20 saved up can help you. But just starting from a vague space of, yeah, one day when things are better, then I will make a decision to do something different. That is a way that we trick ourselves into believing something that's not true, into believing that we're going to do something that we're not really going to do right now. What you need to do, sis, if you want to have your dream shop and boutique and start working right now towards building your dream of self-employment as an entrepreneur, owning your own retail empire, you have to decide that's what you want. And you have to decide you want it now, not next year, not 5 years from now, not when things get better. Because guess what? There's never going to be a better time to start your business than right now. There's never going to be a better time to invest money in your business, to invest in getting expert training, to invest in getting the support and accountability that you need to stay the course. You've already been thinking about this for a while. Why haven't you taken that step? It could be because you haven't really made a real decision about what it is you want to do. You're trying to play it safe because you figure I actually talked with a woman several weeks ago. She kept saying, I don't feel comfortable with this. Once I feel comfortable with it, I will do it. And I said, ma'am, you will never do it because you're looking for comfort in a place that is not meant for comfort. There is nothing comfortable about taking on the risk of starting your own company. But it's the people who are the risk takers, the people who step outside of their comfort zone, put their money where their mouth is, put their time, their effort, and their reputation where their mouth is, are the ones that have the wealth. They're the ones that have the success. Those are the entrepreneurs. The people pushing papers for those entrepreneurs and helping them build their dream, those are the job holders. But I have a sneaking suspicion that you are not a paper pusher or that you are not designed for that. That's why you're still watching this video. And if that's true about you, guess what? I'm here to tell you that the decision comes first, and then you will find the solutions to solve your problem. Until you have really decided that now's the time to start my business, until you have really decided that now I'm ready to get out of debt, now I'm ready to actually let an expert help me instead of trying to keep doing it myself. looking at YouTube and looking at all these other things that are not going to get me where I want to go. Until you decide that you are serious, you're going to find all kinds of evidence that you need to stay where you are. And if that's what you want, then that's okay. But I don't believe that that's what you want. And if you are sick and tired of playing the word game with yourself and saying, oh, yeah, I'm serious. But then anytime it's time for you to put up or shut up, as they say, you back down. Well, I don't know. I'm scared. If you know that's you, it's okay. There's no shame in that. Entrepreneurship is scary. It's fun and it's rewarding, but it's also a lot of hard play. I don't like to use the word work because that's associated with jobs. It's a lot of hard play, but it's play that's more rewarding than anything you'll ever do for somebody else. But if you recognize that you have been holding yourself back from really stepping out there because you're telling yourself, once I solve all of the issues, the money, the time, getting everything else off my plate, which will never happen unless you're dead. If you've been telling yourself that, and that's why you haven't really stepped out there, and you know that it's really fear-based and it's scarcity-based, then I invite you to reach out and book a free breakthrough interview with me right now at melaniehunter.com/chat. Again, www.melaniehunter with 2Ls.com/chat. Be sure to fill out the application that pops up right afterwards. And when we get on the call, I'm going to get you crystal clear on three things. What's not working? What are those things that have been keeping you stuck and having you afraid to step out there? And then we're going to look at what your dream is. What is it that you really want to accomplish? Why do you even want to have a boutique? What is on your heart? And then we're going to map out a game plan, a step-by-step approach that's going to help you to get to that as quickly and as profitably as possible, possibly even this year, where you can walk away from your job and into your dream knowing that your family safety and security is in the bag, because you will be in control of what happens with your future and not your boss. So again, book your call. It's a free call. If your business isn't worth 45 minutes, then how serious can you really be, right? melaniehunter.com/chat. Let's have a conversation and see if we're fit to work together to help you to get there, to get past the fear, to get past the uncertainty, and to stop waiting for answers to come before you've made your decision. I'm here to help, and I look forward to talking to you. Book your call right now, and let's talk soon. It's been my pleasure sharing with you today on this topic. I'll be back next week with some more exciting training topics about how you can turn your entrepreneurship dreams into a reality. But it starts with a decision. The answers are not going to come before you make a real decision. So go ahead and make your decision now. Put your decision where your mouth is and book the call right now. Let's talk soon. Take care. Bye-bye.